Mr. Cha-Cha is a 70-years-old retired actor. As an actor, he used to turn night into day and eat roughly. After his retirement, he lives in a sedentary life. Recently, he found that he couldn't perform his famous play as squeezing the orange by one-handed grasping. He also felt difficulty in lifting bags and walking across blocks during grocery shopping. It's getting harder and harder for him to climb stairs even though he lives on the second floor of an old apartment. Sometimes he even felt exhausted when getting from the sofa to the toilet. What's more, he has fallen twice in the past 1 year in his own house. What happened to Mr. Cha-Cha, our former strong and muscular man? Actually, Mr. Cha-Cha might suffer from sarcopenia. What is sarcopenia? Sarcopenia is getting more and more concerned since we are now living in an aged society. Patients suffer from sarcopenia can't wring their towel dried. They walk slowly on flat ground. It's difficult for them to stand up from the chair easily. Let's see some demonstration of the symptoms of sarcopenia in the following short clips.
One day in bathroom. In the morning, the old guy fights with his towel in bathroom as usual. Hey Dad, why do bathroom towels consistently dripping? Oh, because I can wear it out. How it could be? It's very, very easy. Oh, I just cannot wear it out. I'm very sorry. Another day, at the sidewalk. Oh, my son, can you be slowly, please? Oh, no way! The restaurant will cancel our reservation in 5 minutes. Oh, but I'm really cannot go so fast. I'm so sorry. Another day, at stairs. Hey Dad, be careful. Don't fall again. Oh my son, I'm all good for nothing. I'm so sorry.
So, what is sarcopenia? Sarcopenia is the loss of muscle mass and strength and corresponding loss of physical function that occurs with advancing age. During the normal aging process, 3 to 8% loss of muscle mass per decade will happen after 30s, and the rate of muscle loss steeper after 60s. Causes of sarcopenia is multifactorial. It might result from the interactions between nutrition, hormones, and immunologic factors, which lead to loss of muscle mass, muscle strength, and even physical performance. Eventually, sarcopenia will cause disability and loss of independence. The prevalence of sarcopenia varies based on the different diagnostic criteria within different populations. In general, among community-dwelling adults, the prevalence is actually higher than expectation and getting higher with aging. Based on the studies from Taiwan group, the prevalence of community-dwelling elders is between 3.9 to 7.3%. Sarcopenia is proved to be related to negative health outcomes like functional impairment, disability, falls, and loss of independence. A longitudinal study also found that people without sarcopenia live significantly longer than those with sarcopenia. Taiwan is now an aged and will be a super-aged society. More and more older adults will face the problem that Mr. Chacha is suffering now. It's crucial for us working together to fight sarcopenia. Let's see interdisciplinary suggestions from allied health providers. In the following section, different health professionals including physiatrists, occupational therapists, dentists, and traditional Chinese medicine doctor will give their precious opinions on how to fight sarcopenia. Hi, I'm Dr. Duan, a licensed clinician in physical medicine and rehabilitation. As a physiatrist, when talking about treatment of sarcopenia, we should consider the pathogenesis of sarcopenia. Unfortunately, a variety of factors and pathways are involved in the pathogenesis. But we do know that sarcopenia will lead to the loss of type 2 muscle fiber and eventually the decrease of cross-sectional area of muscle. Therefore, exercise and nutrition are two keys for treating sarcopenia. Generally speaking, exercise could be classified into four types, that is aerobic exercise, progressive resistance training, flexibility exercise, and balance. Among these four types of exercise, resistance, aerobic training, and combined exercises have been shown to increase muscle strength and improve physical function of elders. Progressive resistance training is the best studied form of exercise and is the most recommended. However, the potential side effects like burdens on joints, muscle strain, ligament sprain, and falls were reported during traditional progressive resistance training. Therefore, some modifications like using an elastic band or pneumatic resistance training system are preferred in sarcopenia elders. My suggestions for Mr. Chacha is that he can do progressive resistance training with elastic band. As you can see from this picture, it could be performed in the sitting position. Even my older patients in the daycare center could perform the exercise well. By doing elastic band resistance training, the upper extremities and the lower extremities could be trained safely and interestingly. I also recommend Mr. Chacha to join the specialized gym for elders since he lives in the city. This kind of gym uses circuit pneumatic resistance training machine, which is quite safe and efficient. During the circle training, you can train your upper limbs, trunk, and also lower limbs.
Sarcopenia-related functional deficits are a barrier to completing activity of daily living and maintaining adequate physical activity and a healthy diet. Assistive technologies in overcoming functional declines associated with sarcopenia through managing components including poor strength and mobility, or supporting health behaviors that prevent sarcopenia progression. Nearly technologies such as interactive and virtual reality games, wearable devices, and smartphone applications, smart homes, exoskeletons, and robotics also hold promise for improving engagement in physical activity and neutral behavior to prevent further functional declines. As you can see this slide, these tools provide examples of potential solutions for meal preparation and self-feeding in sarcopenia patients. My suggestion for Mr. Chacha is to cooperate with occupational therapy to perform a home safety assessment. A home safety assessment evaluates your home to identify and eliminate potential hazards and includes home improvement recommendations to help your environment more securely, such as installing handrails in the bathroom or ensuring your house has adequate lighting.
Oral strength and nutrition related sarcopenia. Simple task eating requires a coordinated effort between multiple oral muscles. A study conducted in Japan found a link between the strength of these muscles and nutrition-related sarcopenia. From childhood to adulthood, muscles continue to grow larger and stronger. However, this trajectory switches course and many muscle begins to deteriorate, which leads to sarcopenia. While this muscle loss is a natural part of the aging process, malnutrition has been suggested to amplify the problem. Study evaluated more than 200 patients for malnutrition and assessed factors such as tongue strength, lip strength, and the amount of food intake. These factors were negatively associated with nutrition-related sarcopenia. The muscle seems to get weaker with lower food intake, suggesting malnutrition may lead to reduced oral strength. Need to be cautious. The converse of this may also be true. There might be a reverse causality. Therefore, increasing the strength of oral muscles by directed exercise may be an important factor in improving and preventing this condition in older patients.
In the next part, I will introduce the relevant information on Chinese medicine treatment of sarcopenia. Sarcopenia is similar to facility symptoms in traditional Chinese medicine classification. The so-called facility may include limb weakness, muscle atrophy, and the inability to move freely. According to the theoretical basis of traditional Chinese medicine, sarcopenia can be roughly divided into two types. One of them is what we call the type of spleen and the stomach qi deficiency. The deficiency of spleen and the stomach qi means that there may be physical fatigue, muscle atrophy, or shortness of breath. Another type of sarcopenia is liver and kidney yin deficiency. The possible symptoms of the liver-kidney yin deficiency type include limb soreness, dizziness, tinnitus, dry tongue and throat, nocturia or nocturnal emission. In actual use, different prescriptions are recommended for these two different states. Example of herbs that can be used on is like additionally, acupuncture or herbal baths may also help.
After listening to the suggestions from different health professionals, Mr. Chacha decides to defeat sarcopenia by doing regular exercise in a senior fitness center near his neighborhood. He also cooks for himself to have a balanced diet and increases the uptake of proteins and minerals. He and his son did some home environmental modifications with the assistance of an occupational therapist. In his leisure time, he likes to take an herbal bath to relax. After doing this, Mr. Chacha backs to the condition of his all good days, and he claims that he's ready for another 20 golden years to age actively. It's never too late to defeat sarcopenia. From now on, let us take actions to age actively ever after.